Today our topic is the meaning of true freedom in Stoicism. True freedom is something everyone wants, but not everyone understands. Many people think freedom means doing whatever they want, whenever they want. They think it means having no rules, no limits, and no one telling them what to do. But in Stoicism, true freedom is very different. Stoicism is an ancient philosophy that teaches us how to live a good life, even when things are hard. It teaches us that true freedom is not about what happens outside of us, but about what happens inside of us. It is about controlling our thoughts, our emotions, and our reactions. It is about finding peace and happiness no matter what life throws at us. Let me explain this idea more deeply. First, let's talk about what Stoicism is. Stoicism was founded a long time ago. In ancient Greece and Rome, famous Stoics include people like Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius. These philosophers believe that the key to a good life is not in having more money, more power, or more things. Instead, they believe that the key to a good life is in our mind. They taught that we cannot control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we think about those things. This is the core idea of Stoicism. Focus on what you can control, and let go of what you cannot control. Now, let's connect this to the idea of true freedom. Many people think they are not free because they have to work, pay bills, follow rules, or deal with problems. They feel trapped by their responsibilities or by the expectations of others. But Stoicism teaches us that these things do not take away our freedom. True freedom is not about what we do or where we are. It is about how we think and how we feel. A person who is free in the Stoic sense is someone who has control over their own mind. They do not let outside events control their emotions or their happiness. They are free because they have mastered themselves. Let me give you an example. Imagine two people who lose their jobs. The first person feels angry, sad, and hopeless. They think their life is ruined, and they blame others for their problems. The second person, however, stays calm and focused. They remind themselves that losing a job is not the end of the world. They think about what they can do next, like looking for a new job or learning new skills. The second person is free in the Stoic sense because they do not let the situation control their emotions or their actions. They are free because they choose how to respond. This is the power of Stoicism. It teaches us that we are not victims of our circumstances. We have the power to choose how we react to everything that happens to us. This does not mean that we will never feel pain, sadness, or anger. These emotions are natural, and it is okay to feel them. But Stoicism teaches us not to let these emotions control us. We can acknowledge our feelings without letting them take over our lives. This is true freedom, the ability to stay calm and clear-minded, even in difficult situations. Now let's talk about how to achieve this kind of freedom. The Stoics gave us many practical tools and exercises to help us master our minds. One important tool is the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness means paying attention to our thoughts and emotions, without judging them. It means being aware of what is happening inside us so we can choose how to respond. For example, if someone insults us, we might feel angry. But if we practice mindfulness, we can notice this anger and decide not to act on it. We can remind ourselves that the insult does not define us, and that our worth does not depend on what others say. This is how we take control of our emotions and find true freedom. Another important Stoic practice is negative visualization. This means imagining the worst that could happen, so we can prepare ourselves for it. For example, we might imagine losing our job, getting sick, or losing a loved one. This might sound depressing, but it is actually very helpful. By imagining these things, we remind ourselves that they could happen, and we learn to accept them. This does not mean we want these things to happen, but it means we are ready for them if they do. When we accept the possibility of loss, we become less afraid of it. And when we are less afraid, we are more free. The Stoics also taught us to focus on what is within our control. They divided the world into two categories: things we can control and things we cannot control. Things we can control include our thoughts, our actions, and our attitudes. Things we cannot control include the weather, other people's opinions, and the past. Many people waste their energy trying to control things they cannot change. They worry about what others think, or they regret things that have already happened. But the Stoics say this is a waste of time. Instead, we should focus on what we can control. We cannot change the past, but we can choose how to think about it. We cannot control other people, but we can control how we treat them. This focus on what we can control is the key to true freedom. Another important Stoic idea is the concept of virtue. The Stoics believe that the only true good in life is virtue. Virtue means being a good person, honest, kind, brave, and wise. Everything else, money, fame, health, even life itself, is not good or bad. These things are neutral. What matters is how we use them. For example, money is not good or bad. It is just a tool. It can be used to help others, or it can be used to harm others. What matters is the choice we make. The Stoics believed that if we live a virtuous life, we will find true happiness and freedom. This is because virtue comes from within us. It does not depend on outside things. We can be virtuous even if we are poor, sick, or in trouble. And when we are virtuous, we are free. Finally, let's talk about the Stoic idea of Amor Fati. This is a Latin phrase that means love of fate. It means accepting everything that happens to us, good or bad, as if we had chosen it ourselves. This does not mean we should not try to improve our lives or avoid problems, but it means we should not fight against reality. We should accept what we cannot change and focus on what we can do. When we accept our fate, we stop resisting life. We stop wasting energy on anger, fear, or regret. Instead, we use our energy to live well, no matter what happens. This is the ultimate freedom, the freedom to love life just as it is. In conclusion, true freedom in Stoicism is not about having no limits or no rules. It is about mastering our own mind. It is about controlling our thoughts, our emotions, and our reactions. It is about focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we cannot control. It is about living a virtuous life, no matter what happens. And it is about accepting our fate and finding peace in the present moment. This kind of freedom is not easy to achieve. It takes practice, patience, and effort. But it is worth it. Because when we achieve true freedom, we find something even more valuable: inner peace. And with inner peace, we can face anything life throws at us with courage and strength. This is the meaning of true freedom in Stoicism.